Hi guys, Aaron here, and I've got a whole bunch of new things that Refari can do that I think I should get you guys across. So number one on my list here is enabling you to set your own hashtag defaults. Now, what the hell am I talking about? You may remember that when you go to socialize a job advert from your job board or from anywhere else that you're using the socialize feature, it kind of pulls out these hashtags that it wants to use. Refari job, Sydney jobs, right? Now, in fact, these ones here aren't the defaults. These are actually ones that are coming from my custom list of hashtags that I want to be used on job adverts that I socialize going forward. So if I come to Refari and go to settings, company branding, and scroll down, you will see that I have the ability to set brand hashtags. And these are my custom hashtags to ensure that the team are using a hashtag set that is on brand and on brand with our social media strategy. So that can be set up via settings, company branding, and of course you need to be an admin or manager level user to be able to do that, and they can be set there. Number two on my list is enabling custom application policies to ensure legal compliance. So if I go to company settings and scroll down, you'll see that I've got the ability to add new application policies. Now you're probably thinking, well, what the hell is an application policy? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this job board and I'm going to load it in incognito so that we can apply to a job from the perspective of a candidate. And when I come in here to apply from the perspective of a candidate, first of all, I'll quickly apply to a job. Apply now. I'm an Australian citizen. The rest of these questions are optional, so I can just submit through them. And you'll see here that we have an application policy. So if you need to get people to conform to your data processing policy, your terms and conditions, whatever those might be, you can add multiple application policies here, and you can effectively force those candidates to accept that policy before submitting the application. So that's what an application policy is and how they can fit into that workflow. Now in terms of enabling it, simply go into settings, company settings, and you can add new policies in here. Effectively, it's simply a label and a URL that we want people to agree to. So in the example above, I've added data processing policy, and I've simply added a terms of use URL just as an example. But of course, this would be URLs from your own website, specific to whichever application policy you are implementing. Another feature that we have that's kind of similar is a referral scheme terms and conditions URL. And this is number 3 on my list. If I come through to the job board here and scroll down to the bottom of the job board, you'll actually see I've got our referral scheme or our referral terms and conditions. And also, if I was to engage in the referral process from the job board as from the perspective of a candidate, you'll see that also our referral terms and conditions. So if you want to enable terms and conditions on your referral scheme, you can do this simply by adding, again, a URL from your website specific to what those referral scheme terms and conditions are, and it will automatically present them on your job board and within the user journey of anyone engaging in a candidate referral. Number 4 on my list is an improvement to the job board to improve the searchability of remote job adverts. Now, if we look at the locations available on this job board, you'll see that we've got remote, we've got 3 jobs, we've also got 11 jobs in Sydney. If I select Sydney, you'll note that it actually leaves remote as a location, and that is because if you're working in Sydney or living in Sydney, you also can work those remote jobs. If the candidate chooses to, they don't want to see the remote jobs, they can still remove it from the search, but it means that those remote jobs get more hits now. And of course, with the way that the world is at the moment, there are a lot more remote jobs around, and a lot more businesses are moving to a remote first model. So that is something we've done to facilitate greater traction for remote jobs. Now, in order to use this, you will need to set up your location to be the word remote. If you're using a location of remote, not work from home, not any other location, it specifically would need to be the word remote, and we only do it for that word. So if you're using Job Adder, for example, you can set that up within your job portal in Job Adder as a location that is available to your team, so that when they're posting a job advert through to your website, they can select remote as an option. The next option that we have, or new feature that we've got available, is automatically displaying videos as job media. Now, I've actually got a couple of examples on screen here. In this given job ad right here, you will see that the job advert has a video in the job advert. But I also want that job advert video to appear from the job list view. And to enable that, all you have to do is go to dashboard, settings, company settings, and then there's a toggle here which is auto enable job advert body videos as job media. So this feature here is called job media, and effectively what we're saying is if there's a video in the job advert body, display it as job media on the job list. And that means that any videos you add can be added into the job list like this to make your job adverts look a little bit more interesting. Number 6 in terms of these 10 new features that we're going through now is ability to add company-wide testimonials. So if you receive a testimonial saying how great you are as a company and you want to include that in your testimonial widget, maybe it isn't one through the TopRec system, but it's just one that's been sent to you directly. What you can do is go to settings, company branding, and add that company testimonial to your company testimonial section at the bottom of the page. When you add a company testimonial, that will appear in your testimonial carousel alongside any recruiter specific testimonials and or any TopRec generated testimonials as well. Number 7 on my list is the ability to add screener questions to the candidate registration process. So if I go to Tools, Question Mapping, you'll see that I've got a whole bunch of questions here, and in fact there's another, I could probably add this as an 11th feature, which is that now you can add questions and create question sets directly from Refari. So if you want to add questions in here, then you've not imported questions previously, you can simply define what those questions are, decide if it's text, an integer, a list, a multi-select, radio button, provide an example answer, etc. So there's quite a lot of complexity here, or capability in terms of adding these questions. And you can enable those screener questions not only as question sets for the purpose of displaying at the end of a job advert application, but also you can attribute them to your registration widget, so that when somebody's completing your registration widget on your website, you can add these screener questions to that registration process. And also, when they're answering those questions, you can decide to map those answers to a particular field on the candidate record in Job Adder, which of course improves your data quality. Number 8 in the list is display TopRec ratings on your socializations. I know a few clients have found this one already, but basically if I come back to my job board here and I go to socialize a job advert, and I pick a template that is a bit more appropriate, or maybe I just change the font on this one to make it more appropriate. I'm going to quickly add a tint as well. So you can see here we've got the ability to add this recruiter TopRec bar. So if you're using the TopRec system, it means that when you're engaging using a socialize, not only can you advertise your brand, advertise your role, but you can also advertise your reputation at the same time. Please note you can only do this if your score is above 4, and also if you've got more than 5 ratings. If you don't have 5 ratings, it won't give you this capability. However, if your brand or the company has got a lot more ratings than you individually as a recruiter, you can choose to display your company TopRec instead, which means that it will reference what your TopRec score is across your entire company. So I know a lot of clients have already found that one. I've seen quite a few people sharing socializations with their reputation in the socialization. Number 9 in our list is Smartlink gamification. So with our gamification system, if we quickly come in your progress, you'll see that there's now one for Smartlinks. For anyone that's unfamiliar with what a Smartlink is, basically it is the ability to take a link, this is a Smartlink, and you can take that and send it in an email, put in an email, wherever you're kind of approaching a candidate, and that is a link that will drive traffic specifically to that job advert. And it's both trackable in terms of we measure the number of clicks, and we also measure the number of applications that happen as a result of that Smartlink. So we're gamifying that to encourage people to use those links, especially in those headhunting processes. Finally, number 10 is one that is a little bit more nuanced, but a little bit more advanced, to be honest, which is send job alert once per job. So sometimes in a recruitment process, you might be recruiting for a job advert or for a job, and that job may roll on for 4 months or something. It could be an ongoing job. And what you don't want to do is, of course, when you post those job adverts to your website, you probably post them every 28 days based on the current expiry period. And probably what you don't want to happen is for somebody to be alerted to a job advert if you've already declined them and said that they're not relevant for that job advert. Because when they see that the second time, they'll be like, oh, there's a new job that's relevant to me or possibly relevant to me, even though it's the same job advert. Now, I suspect it'll be not every client will toggle this feature, but effectively if you toggle this to on like it is here, it will mean that once somebody has received a job alert about a given job, it will not send them that job again if that job if a job advert is reposted for that single job, if that makes sense. So quite a difficult one to demonstrate, but it means that you can optimize that email delivery and make sure you're not continually sending the same job advert to the same candidate, especially if they've already been declined. Unfortunately, this cannot be done on a candidate by candidate basis. It is simply, if you turn it on company wide. But that is 10 new features that you can use with Refari to improve your branding, improve your compliance, improve your overall Refari use. Thank you.